The fourth Samsung IndyCar Series race heads to the Milwaukee Mile in the state of Wisconsin for the running of the Advanced Auto Parts 400. The two Luke Ray Team Penske's Luke Rainey has claimed the pole for today's race. To his outside, second is points leader and last race winner Christian Vargas in the 4 car. Then third position belongs to Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Fourth goes to Jose Mills, rounding out the top 5 Brandon Grenier in the 25. Sixth place, we have John Smith. Seventh, it's Justin Zeidel. Eighth for Christian Richardson. Ninth, Dylan Trieste. And rounding out the top 10, Jay Randall in the 33. The rest of the field is Casey Nacco, to his outside, Trey Wright in the 39. Then we have Ryan Brommer and Anthony Nez in the 66. Then Anthony Rodriguez third in points, and second in points, Anthony Lehman in the 63. Then John Gilbert and Code Luigi with Kai Zander and Noggin Scott. And we have Oliver Evans with Mark Silas, along with Bronson Minnick and Max Rossi. And there's Trey Rainey and Riley Spurley-Tube with Brandon Beal and Jake Galloway. Then Sebastian Kukulon and Marshall Burrow with Carter Freeze and Riley Sampson, Tyler Fink and Jonathan Rains. And then the final row is Kashawn Richardson in 35th, and 36th has Anthony Fox in the 22. There's our 36-car starting lineup for the Advanced Auto Parts 400 here in Milwaukee. Let's go on trackside and fire these cars up for racing at the 1-mile flat oval.
Drivers, start your engines!
Go ahead, fire up. Exit the car up.
36 drivers fire their engines up. We're racing here at the Milwaukee Mile. Coming into this race, the owner's points sees Mitchell Collins on top by about 6 points over Evan Hunter, AJ Points Enterprises, and then Levi Schoen's third is about 11 points back for Andretti Autosport. But meanwhile, Team Penske's Luke Rainey leads the field with green flag. To his outside is points leader Christian Vargas. Green flag, we're racing Wisconsin. The only drivers that got going there were Luke Rainey and Fitzwater. They come around to be 1-2 at the start finish, and Rainey leads lap 1. Grenier moves to third. Zeidel to fourth. Christian Vargas from second back to fifth on the outside lane, still falling. As here comes Kansas winner Trieste to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll grab a top 10 spot away, up to 6th. Here comes Casey Nackel, the 8, moving forward. Ryan Brommer to the top 10. And here comes second in points Anthony Lehman trying to get around Christian Vargas. Sees that 4 on the outside, struggling. If he can get around that 4 car, that would be possibly the points lead. And it looks like the 60, Jose Mills will find a hole in line, move the 4 back further on the outside possibly. He might fall outside the top 10 by the time he finds a hole down low. The 60 moves to the inside of the 4, down the back, wheel to wheel. Mills on the inside, Vargas on the outside. Off into turn 3. Mills using that bottom of the racetrack. The preferred lane. Vargas way up the racetrack, trying to get around the corner to beat Lehman down the straightaway. He could try and get down right there. He has a hole in front of the 63. Gets down in 9th. Lehman is now 10th. Randall to 11th. Colucci moves John Smith out of the way to get to 12th. Lehman, he really wants to get by that 4 car. Vargas, they come in 1-2 in the points. Only 7 points separate the two. Mills in 8th. The rest of the field trying to get going. At the front, Luke Rainey goes up the racetrack off turn 4, trying to get a run off the top. Fitzwater, the 19, rides right now in the second position. Last lap, Fitzwater about 200ths of a second faster. It's just not enough. He would need a little bit more than that. Only 4 laps into it, though. Still lots of time left. Here's a battle back here. That's for 6th. On the outside, it's Casey Nacco. To the inside goes Ryan Brown with the 26. Starts it hard to the bottom. He'll get to 6th over Nanico, who might fall back outside the top 10. Randall moves around Lehman, who's back now outside the top 10, possibly back to 12th. Can he get in line front? John Smith, the 23. Smith keeps his nose to the inside of that 63 and will force the 63 further back. That's what Vargas wanted to see, but now the 4's up the racetrack. Now Vargas goes 1. Here comes Jay Randall for 9th, moves the 4 back to 10th. And Cole Luigi wants a top 10 to 9. At the front, this battle for 3rd, closing up. The battle for the lead, closing up. Zeidel over the back of Grenier. At the front of the field, Fitzwater gaining on Luke Rainey, the 2. Zeidel better 3 and 4 right there. Stay a little lower. Stay a little command in the gas. More than the 25 did. Off into turn 1. Once again, Andretti Autosport fast race cars, 2 of which are right now inside the top 5, with Grenier leading Trieste. They're 3rd and 5th right now, and then Brommer's up to 6th. It's another Andretti Autosport car. Vargas is back in 10th, the 4. Here's Coluigi looking to the inside for 10th. The 9 trying to get up inside the top 10. It's not been a great season for Chip Ganassi Racing. Coluigi and Riley Sampson both with William Poland, their team owner. They'd love to at least get a top 10 here today, but that's now kind of been compromised as Coluigi gets put to the outside. John Smith moves to 11th. Luigi's back to 12th. Can't get in line from Anthony Lehman, the 63. Lehman wants to get back to 12th right here. We'll see if he drives it hard to the bottom in 3 and 4. He just wasn't close enough. There goes Rossi. That's Vargas' teammate falling back on the outside as John Gilbert, the 48, moved to the inside. Back up at the front of the field. Fitzwater trying to close in on Luke Rain. The 2 right now doing some pretty decent laps. The battle for 3rd is still on, though. If Grenier goes up the racetrack, makes one small bobble in that 25, Justin Zaidel beat to the inside and get by that 25 car. And Zaidel right now definitely is faster than Grenier. He's been able to stay with him lap after lap after lap. He just can't find a way around that 25 car, and it's very hard to make passes at tracks like this. This is a one-groove racetrack around the bottom of the racetrack. It's very hard to make passes work here. You need to have that driver in front and make some sort of mistake, like right there. Grenier went up the racetrack. You don't want to go up the racetrack here, and Zaidel's got a nice run off turn 2. He'll close right back up, and meanwhile, back here, 2 teammates to go battle for 5th. Trieste blue 1 and 2, and here comes Brommer, the 26, trying to look. So Brommer moves up into a battle for 5th now with his teammate Trieste. The battle for 3rd still on, and there's Nako in 7th with the battle for 8th. Jay Reno trying to close in on Jose Mills, the 60. Vargas still holds 10th ahead of John Smith. Anthony Lehman is still falling back to 63 on the outside. He could fall outside the top 15 in the next few laps. Random rotating well, trying to get to the inside. Jose Mills down the back. Is he down there? Can he force the nose to the inside? He does do that. Rando to the inside. Mills, he'll get around the 60 for 8th. So Jay Rando moving 1 spot further forward. His teammate Fitzwater is up in the 2nd position. He wants to join him up inside the top 5. Moves to 8th here on lap number 12. And at the front, Fitzwater doesn't want to be second much longer. He wants to be out in front 1 spot further forward. The 19 trying to look around the 2 car. And Grenier's pulled away from Zaidel a little bit there. This battle for 5th is still hot. Brommer trying to get around Trieste. And Nanko kind of watching on. Brommer, nice run off turn 4 right there. Closes up onto the back of his teammate. You would think if, Brommer saying, hey, he's my teammate, you'd think he would let me go. That's not how we race here. A lot of people are racing hard. Right there, Brommer again a little bit lower, trying to get the run down the straightaway. I'm sure Levi Schultz doesn't like watching this. He sees 2 of his cars right next to each other. He's saying, oh gosh, no, please just don't. If you guys can race each other hard, just don't make contact. Don't take you guys out of the race. At the front, Fitzwater has actually closed right up onto Luke Rainey, so the 2 car might start to be going away here as he goes up the racetrack through 1 and 2. Fitzwater a little lower, gained a little time. The battle for 5th still waging on. Brommer trying to get around Trieste. Looked low that time down the back. Maybe showed the nose in the 98 saying, I'm faster, let me go, teammate. But he didn't do it. And right up into the back of the 98 again. Brommer is definitely faster than Trieste's teammate. But Trieste don't want to give the spot up. Those are points. And Trieste right now in a battle to try and get the championship at this point in the season. Every point matters under a format like this where it's a season long. Oh, Nako got the wall. Nako got wide off turn 2, got the wall, popped it hard. Jay Randall to 7th around the outside, so Nako falls back to 8th. Got the wall hard off turn 2, and hopefully he didn't damage the suspension. He hit the wall a ton. He nailed it off turn 2. Look at Trieste blocking, and there's the battle for the lead. Fitzwater inside of Luke Rain right there. He's going to have him this time. Zachary Fitzwater Sr., second no more, trying to clear Luke Rainey. He couldn't clear him. They're still wheel to wheel down the back. Fitzwater dives it to the bottom of the racetrack. Rainey keeps it tough on the outside. As they race off turn 4, Rainey's not giving up, but Fitzwater does clear him. Fitzwater to the front, and the Advanced All Parts 400. Rainey back to 2nd. And Grenier's closed in 3rd now. Zaidel in 4th. Battle for 5th is still on. Brommer cannot find a way around Trieste. Trieste, a lap or 2 ago, actually protected down the front stretch and ran a lane lower because he saw the 26 had run. These 2 teammates are going at it for the top 5. And meanwhile, Nako's still fading. Mills over the back for 8th position. And now, Vargas outside the top 10 as John Smith moves to 10th. Here comes Coluigi trying to get by a few of them. And Anthony Lehman is nowhere to be seen. Those 63. There he's right there. just clinging on to a top 20 spot with his teammate, Christian Richardson. Luigi by John Gilbert right there to move to 12th. Vargas sells in 11th. At the front, Rainey closing right back up on the Fitzwater, not letting the 19 get away. He said, hey, you're out front, now let me get it back. I'm faster than you still. Rainey's teammate Zidell still trying to get around for third on Brendan Grenier. It's been a great battle there. Grenier's held off the 3 lap after lap. And this battle for 5th as well, still pretty hot. Zidell again on the back of that 25. And how long does Zidell wait until he says, nope, no more. You cannot do this to me anymore. Right here, he has a good run through 3 and 4. Grenier ran a little higher. 41 laps of racing to go in Milwaukee. Luke Rainey over the back of Fitzwater. Rainey led the opening about 17 laps. Fitzwater got from just a few laps to go. Now Rainey's right on the back to challenge the 19 car. Brommer's fallen off now in the 98. He may have used his stuff up, and that's allowed Jay Randall in the 33 to close in. So it's a 3-way battle for 5th now. And it might be a 4-way battle for the lead. Look at Fitzwater. He saw the 200 run, ran a little lower there. Made sure the 2 couldn't dive to the inside. 40 laps to go. There's still tons of time left, still over half the race left, still some pit stops left. A lot to be determined here in the Advanced Auto Parts 400. We're not even, we haven't even scratched the surface of this race so far. Rainey looking to get back out in front. Fitzwater looking to keep it. And that 2 is so fast right now. He rotated that corner well, right up behind the 19 as well in that dirty air. It looks like Brommer has finally gotten around his teammate Trash. They move Brommer to 5th now as the battle for the lead. Rainey looks low. He looked. He had the peak. He didn't have the legs, though, at the end of the backstretch. We'll see what he does through 3 and 4 this time. I would say maybe an inch lower than the 19, if that. The battle for 3rd. Zidell over the back of the 25. He's going to jump to the inside to turn 1. It's his best opportunity right here. Best opportunity to get to 3rd. Car number 3 to P3. Zidell moves to 3rd. Getting by Grenier. Brommer to 5th. Now for 6th. Here comes Randall and Trastis. The 98 starting to fade back. There goes Randall by the 98. The moves way all the way up to 6th. He's starting to come alive. And Brommer really closing in. Over the back of his teammate now. Grenier, he wants to be the highest end of the All-Sport car. Yeah, Ryan Brommer, his car has come to left after getting around that 98. He knows it's a fast race car. Will this teammate do him any favors now? Yeah, it took him about, 10, 15 laps to get around his teammate last time, Trieste. How about this teammate? Will Grenier let him go? He knows he has a fast race car. If Grenier is maybe playing for the big picture, the team ownership championship, maybe we'd say, go ahead, 26, you're fast. You're trying to get up there and get those Team Penske drivers. Brommer with a run at the end of the straightaway, but just did not have the arc into the corner to make it work. And now the 25 slides wide. Can the 26 get to the inside? He's all over the back. He'll try and jump low here down the backstretch. 35 to go to the start finish line. There goes Brommer by his teammate Brendan Grenier to move all the way up to 4th. So now at the front, Dale Quinn Racing, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., 2 Team Penske drivers of Luke Grenier and Justin Zidell. They're 2nd and 3rd. Brommer for Andretti Autosport is 4th with his teammate Grenier in 5th. And then 6th place is another Dale Quinn Racing car of Jay Brando. 7th, another Andretti Autosport car, Jose Mills. The single car organization of Meyer Shank Racing is 8th. Casey Nanico is 9th for Greg Irwin Racing. And ranking out the top 10 is Carlin's John Smith. So right now the front of the field dominated by 3 teams. You have Dale Quinn Racing, Team Penske, and Andretti Autosport all up inside the top 7. It's been dominant for those 3 teams so far here today. The battle for 5th is on. Grenier trying to not lose much more ground, but Jay Rando, the 33, he wants to go up there and join his teammate Fitzwater and the race lead. But Luke Rennie's not letting the 19 get away. The 19 kind of pulled ahead a few laps ago. I thought that maybe his car's starting to come alive, but the 2 I think was just letting off, maybe cooling his tires back down to make another charge on him. You see right there, he ran really hard through 3 and 4 and really got loose on corner exit. He had to maybe lift out the gas a little bit, and the 19 gapped him right there. Just could not get out the corner. The yellow flag is out for the first time, though. We do have a crash somewhere in this racetrack. Or a car was probably stopped. Who was that on pit road? They may have stopped on the racetrack, bring out the yellow flag. That was Tyler Fink, Carlin's Tyler Fink. So the race is back around to the start-finish line. Our first yellow flag of the Advanced Auto Parts 400 is out. Only the front 2 need to come around and race it back. Fitzwater will get back in front. Luke Rennie in 2nd. And now these teams and drivers will have to come down pit road for the racing field and make it to the end. some fresh Firestones as well. You gotta know that they need some Firestones on these race cars. So caution flag for the first time, lap number 29 is when the race leaders took it. As it looks like Tyler Fink possibly stopped on the racetrack to bring this one out. And now the teams will do their work. Pit stops are coming up here in the Advanced Auto Parts 400. See Luke Grant getting right front of the back of that team. Want to be as close as you can to the driver in front when you're coming down the pit lane. That's something that's going to hurt Zidell and them back here. They already raced around. They need to get caught up quickly so that they don't lose any time on pit road. It's not a disadvantage entering pit road right here. I think he did a pretty good job getting right back onto his teammate Luke Rainey. So there they come into pit road for what should be their only pit stops of the day. We'll see if Fitzwater's team can do it. We'll see if Luke Rainey's Penske team with that #1 pit stall gets it done. And where's Fitzwater in relation to the two on pit road? Because they both qualify inside the top 3. There's Fitzwater's. So Fitzwater's the 3rd pit stall. Luke Rainey's the 1st pit stall. I would have to imagine 4 fresh Firestones on these race cars. There's 2 tires on the 2. Going around, changing all 4. Who leaves first? Rainey with the #1 pit stall. Fitzwater came in first. He'll leave first. Luke Rainey slow pit stop gets out in what I believe to be 4th or 3rd. So he actually lost ground on pit road. Zidell gets up to 2nd. Fitzwater's team doesn't on pit road. They hold serve. He'll be our racer after the halfway point in our first restart of the day. But what happened to Tyler Fink as his car possibly caught him? He'll be done for the day here in Milwaukee. It was already a bad day for Tyler Fink, but this one made it a lot worse. Coming off turn 4, the car just breaks on him, and unfortunately for him, he could not make it to pit road. It breaks as soon as he misses pit road, as soon as he was getting by pit road. And right here, all that smoke, there's probably oil on the racetrack, and he just can't make it around. Whatever it was terminal. It made the car stop on the racetrack. This is a dangerous spot right here. You have to throw the yellow flag right here. Stopped on the front stretch. Racers are going to be coming around, and if there's oil up there, they might be sliding in. They might slide into the 59. So there were the race leaders racing around. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. with the race lead, enters pit road first, leaves pit road first. The 19 crew does the job on pit road. He is out in front for it's going to be our first restart of the day here in Wisconsin. Coming back green, lap number 33, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is out in front and in control of the Advanced Auto Parts 400. Tyler Fink's issue was a header. That's what put him out of the Advanced Auto Parts 400. Leading the way, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Dale Coyne Racing, doing a great job right now, but 2 Team Penske drivers of Justin Zidell and Luke Rainey are 2nd and 3rd. Ryan Brommer's 4th, 5th goes to Brendan Grenier. And issue to Dylan Trieste, our Kansas winner. One of the Enjoy Autosport cars inside the top 10 with set to restart 6th. Will come to pit road with an issue on the 98. Pace car will go in with them. We're coming green lap number 33. Fitzwater out in front. He takes the green flag. We're back green here in Milwaukee. For 3rd, Brommer got a great restart on Luke Rainey. His teammate, Grenier, right behind him. So one of the Enjoy Autosport cars has been dominant here today. They were all running inside the top 10. 3 of them were. One of them is now out of it. Zidell with a nice run down the back onto Fitzwater for the lead. Talking about Zidell, last race was his home track, Michigan. Talking about how he would love to win for the hometown crowd, but Wisconsin, neighbor to Michigan, this is basically a home track for him, 2nd home track. And look at Brommer, coming through the field, slicing by our poster, Luke Rainey, and for the lead goes Zidell. Fitzwater got really high, here comes Zidell to run down the back. Brommer pushing him to the inside of the 19. Justin Zidell to the front in Milwaukee. And Brommer to 2nd. Here comes Grenier by Luke Rainey. And Jay Reynolds to follow. Where does Neko the 8 go? He'll jump high as John Gilbert moves to the bottom of the racetrack. And where is Vargas gone? The 4. There he is. Just inside the top 20. But you still have Lehman. Neko up high. Luke Rainey fading back. It's got to be heartbreaking for Luke to see all those positions just start to fade. The 2 has obviously fallen off. The later we've gotten into this race, the more the track has changed, the worse the 2 has gotten. But this battle for the lead is not over. Ryan Brommer's had a fast car, especially on the long haul. Can he find a way around the 3 as Zidell to move by and get Levi Schoen's max points? Andretti Autosport has been dominant so far this season. But it is at Carpenter Racing on top of the ownership points. And now Team Penske and Matthew Logan trying to get into the picture. Justin Zidell at the wheel of the 3 car, wheeling it at the front of the field, but still over 20 laps to go, and Brommer in 2nd. Jay Randall, his car also came alive on the long haul. If we stay green the rest of this race, watch for that 33 car to have a say and possibly who wins this race. And Fitzwater starting to fade back to 19, obviously. His car not as great as it was before the restart. Caution flag is out for the second time. And Anthony Hernandez has hit hard with Kashawn Richardson. Down the backstretch, a huge collision brings out the second caution flag. Max Rossi is involved along with Jose Mills, Brandon Beal as well. It looks like two of the Aerosmith Peterson cars were involved in this accident. Hard crash down the backstretch, McLaren Racing's Anthony Hernandez. Hard damage. Second yellow flag of the Advanced Auto Parts 400. Let's see it. This was insane hard racing inside the top 15. Jonathan Raines 3 wide on Kukulon, Max Rossi. Jose Mills just in front of it. As they go through 1 and 2, Kukulon slides up, gets into the 14, gets into the 60, down to Raines, up into the 14. Rossi spinning them around. Vargas, our points there, finds a way down low. Silas nails the 14. There's either the 5 or the 7. And more cars coming in. There's the 66 Hernandez hitting the 14 up into the air. Some cars take to the grass to avoid it, but what a major collision for tons of drivers. A huge crash down the back. Look at this racing. How about Anthony Fox? He started this race last. He's up inside the top 20. Did he find a way around this in the 22? He did. Look at Vargas. He may have gotten some damage, but it was pretty fine. Oh, terrible crash down the backstretch, and they were still wrecking up here. I mean, I think someone got hit again, and there's just on for there. There's Brandon Beal. Let's look at this angle. There's Jake Dowie just in front of the 88. Oliver Evans, his teammate, to the outside. Riley Sampson. Beal to the inside, and Sampson, and yeah, they hit his teammate Kashawn Richardson. So tough break for those drivers. Looks like they had missed on the inside, but just not room down there once some cars came down the racetrack. Justin Zaidel now has a restart to deal with. He's out in front in the Advanced Auto Parts Tournament, looking to win his first race in the Samsung IndyCar Series. Will go green with under 20 laps of racing to go here at the Milwaukee Mile. Green flag this time by. 19 laps of racing to go once we get going here at the Milwaukee Mile. Out from the crash, a lot of drivers. Kashawn Richardson, Anthony Hernandez, Max Rossi, and Jose Mills. 2 laps down, Dylan Trieste after issues coming to the green flag, and Brandon Beal's final lap down with his crash damage in the 5, with 29 cars on the lead lap. Leading them is Justin Zaidel, the 3 car. He's out in front. Second place, hard-charging Ryan Brommer. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. in third. Fourth for Brandon Grenier. Fifth for Jay Rando. John Gilbert is 6th. Marshall Burrow is 7th. Those are 2 teammates. Luke Gray, that caution saved him. He's now on the inside 8th. 9th for John Smith. 10th for Cole Luigi. How's this restart goes? Zaidel out in front in control, but Brommer reads the restart well. We're back green. Brommer with a jump to the inside with a great restart. He read it well. Jay Randall in 5th did not read it well. It's a 4-horse race at the front. Down the back, Brommer over the back is Zaidel for the lead. And for 3rd goes Grenier. And there goes his teammate Brommer for the lead. Can Brommer do it? Off 4, he's clear. Ryan Brommer to the front. And the Advanced Auto Parts 400, but Zaidel keeps 2nd. That's big there. Can't let the 2 Andretti cars get 1-2. Now can Zaidel run that 26 back down? Brommer's been so fast here today. Grenier's 3rd, his teammate. Fitzwater falls back to 4th. Randall keeps 5th for now. The 2 teammates of Gilbert and Burrow for Dreyer and Reinbold. 6th and 7th. Penske's Luke Rennie is 8th. John Smith 9th. Cole Luigi in 10th. Alexander, another Andretti cars 11th. Now goes 12th. Fox up to 13th after starting 36th. What a charge to the field for the 22. I don't know if Zaidel's fast enough. 17 to go, and if Grenier jumps to the inside, could be an Andretti 1-2. Fitzwater lost nose on the 19 car and had to lift off the corner and lost tons of time down the backstretch. Jay Reno over the back now. That's for 4th. The front 10 stay orderly in single file. That might change off turn 4 as Fitzwater goes wide again. Can Grenier jump to the inside? Zaidel, he's a run. There he goes. Zaidel tried to block, but it wasn't enough. Grenier is down there. There goes Cole Luigi to the inside. Back there. That's for 9th. Getting by John Smith. Now can Grenier run down his teammate Brommer. And now Zaidel on the outside. Conveyor belt backwards. Andretti Autosport 1-2 with 15 laps to go. To 3rd goes the 19 Dale Coyne Racing Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Jay Rando into the top 5. He'll move to 4th by the 3 of Zaidel, who's still fading back. And Luke Rainey gonna want to get around John Gilbert. His teammate Gilbert's teammate Burrow put him to the outside. But how about this? Code Luigi jumping inside of Luke Rainey now. So Code moving forward in the 9. Luke has to get in line by this 9 car right here. Can't stay on the outside too long. He has to get in line quickly. Can he find a way? In front of his teammate Anthony Fox, who moves up to the top 10. That 22 has come alive. They've made some great adjustments on that pit stop to moving forward. Colucci to 7th. Meanwhile, at the front, it's all Ryan Barmer. He's pulling away, but nothing is set in stone. The yellow flag could change everything. Zedell's fallen all the way back to 5th. He was leading on the restart. And now he'll have a hard time just getting any more positions. And we document Anthony Fox. 3 of the Penske cars are inside the top 10 right now. The only one that's not is Braun Smith, who's back in 22nd, still trying to claw his way through the field. Now against that car freezing side by side in front, there's Oliver Evans. How about the 4 Christian Vargas? Where is he running on the racetrack right now? 13th. Not bad. I think he'll, well, no, Anthony Lehman has clawed his way up to 12th. So if the 63 can get a spot or 2 more, he'll possibly be the points leader after the day. Unless someone else up here has enough points to close in. Ryan Barmer, as long as you don't get a yellow flag, he's possibly going to win this race. I mean, he's been so fast. I have to watch out for Anthony Fox, though, if he could possibly make some more moves through the field. He's been flying. 22's been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack the last few laps. All these cars are running like 27.1s, 27.2s. He's been running 22.0s. That was his first lap above a 22.1. Colucci from 7th rides up the racetrack. John Gilbert tried to take advantage, but in fact, Marshall Burrell moves higher, and Colucci gaining for 6th. And I just don't see this race lead going to anyone else other than Barmer unless we do get a late race yellow. If we get a yellow flag, then all bets are off. For 9th, Fox on his teammate Luke Rainey. I'm so impressed with that 22. From 36th up to 9th. Luke Rainey's going to fall outside the top 10 right there. Colucci had a peek on Burrow, but couldn't get it. Now John Gilbert, Burrow's teammate, goes wide. Fox for 8th. How about Anthony Fox charging to 8th down the front stretch? And they'll have the position in turn 1. Luke Rainey just falling back. Nowhere to go on the outside. He gave a spot to Lehman. He'll give a spot to Vargas. Can the 4 get around the 63? And how about Gilbert still falling back? Can Alexander jump to the inside? He tried. He couldn't. 220 cars run 1-2. One of them is right now in 10th. Alexander. Mark Simons has damage from the crash. And Dylan tries to stay 2 laps down because of some issues. How about this points lead battle, though? Oh, look out! There goes second on points. Lehman blowing up! And the leader of the Owners' Championship, Ed Carter Racing and Mitchell Collins, had a car trying to get inside the top 10. Lehman blows up second in points, running just out of points there, Christian Vargas. So now Vargas definitely going to be the points after the day, unless, of course, someone in front of him finishing is close enough in points to take advantage. 7 to go. Vargas moves to 11th. The front 10 get away. And now it's just really battles inside the top 10. How about this battle for 6? Colucci over the back of Marshall Burrell. Battle for 3rd. As Jay Randall tries to come through and get by Fitzwater. This battle for 6 still waging on. 6 to go right here. And the gap still constant. In fact, it's grown for the race lead. Oh, look at that. Randall drove it to the inside. Fitzwater, contact. Zedell into the 19. He'll fade. Great battle there. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Randall moves to 3rd, but it's too late. 5 to go to the start-finish line for Ryan Barmer. A yellow flag would end it now for the 26. 5 to go. And look at Fox to 8th, looking for 7th. He's fast, for sure. Carving through the field, in and out. I mean, he sees the top 5 from him. He's going, go, go, go. His teammate right now holds 5th. He has to get through Colucci and Marshall Burrell to get to Justin Zedell. Fitzwater in 4th has come back to the 3 now. This is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All on the line. With 4 to go. Barmer and Grenier. The gap keeps fluctuating. One driver gains a 10th, one lap, the other driver gains a 10th. And there's the battle for 4th. Zedell inside. He'll get around Fitzwater. Colucci jumps on Marshall Burrow now for 6th. That's for the top 5 as well, because he's probably going to get around Fitzwater. And Anthony Fox went high with the 24. Can he cut under on corner exit? He's trying, he didn't have the run to do it. 3 to go. Colucci to 5th, get by Fitzwater. For 6th, Burrow trying to get around Fitzwater now as well. The 19 stuck up high. And what can Anthony Fox do, the 22? If he goes high, oh man, one of the fastest race cars. Look at Kai Alexander coming through the field. His 2 teammates run 1-2. He's inside the top 10 to 9th, get by John Gilbert. Possibly get by Anthony Fox for 8th as well. What a great run. 2 laps remain, 2 miles for Ryan Brommer. Xander moves to 8th. Andretti Allsport going to finish 1-2 as long as everything goes right for 1 more mile. Brommer in control. Got to the lead on our last restart of the day and never looked back. He's dominated the last part of this race. White flag, last lap for Brommer. His teammate Grenier, a distant second, 1.08 back. And Kai Alexander, their other teammate, right now rides in 8th. Gilbert moves around to 9th, getting by Fox, who falls back to 10th. Last lap, half a mile to go. Anthony Fox has fallen back. There's Ryan Brommer in control in turn number 3. Domination at the end. Ryan Brommer gets out front, leads at the end, scores the victory in Wisconsin. Andretti Autosport won 2 here today, and it's possibly going to give Levi Schultz the owner's points lead after the day. Ryan Brommer dominates to win here in Milwaukee. What a great race car he had for sure. Let's go see the finish results in the point standings after race number 4. Here are the finish results from the Advanced Auto Parts 400 at the Milwaukee Mile. 2 caution flags for 8 laps during the race, and 3 lead changes among 4 different drivers. 3 drivers pretty much led equal amounts of laps. The one who led the most laps, though, was race winner Ryan Brommer, led 19 of the 60 laps. Gets the victory lane over teammate Brandon Grenier, who moves up to 2nd. 3rd for Jay Rando, 4th for Justin Zeidel. Colucci fights to finish inside the top 5. Fitzwater led 18 laps, he ends up in 6th. Marshall Burrow 7th, Kai Alexander 8th, Anthony Fox 9th, John Gilbert rounds out the top 10. Christian Vargas 11th, John Smith 12th, Pole Star Luke Ray led the first 15 laps of the race, but falls to finish in 13th after being stuck on the outside late in the race. Brasford, who cost to finish in 14th, Noggin Scott in 15th, they have Trevor Knee 16th, Christian Richardson 17th, Carter Friesen 18th, Bronson Mick 19th, Jonathan Raines rounding out the top 20. How about that? The 4 drivers who led laps in this race, Brommer, along with Zeidel, Fitzwater, and Rainey all led over 5 laps. Brommer led 19, Fitzwater led 18, Rainey led 15, Zeidel led 8. And if you were out front, you led a decent amount of laps here today. Galloway 21st, Oliver Evans 22nd, Rodriguez 23rd, Sampson 24th, Kukulon 25th, Wright 26th, Nako 27th, Silas 28th, 29th for Beal, 30th for Trieste, 31st Lehman, 32nd Mills, 33rd Rossi, 34th Hernandez, Richardson 35th, Fink 36th. And for Lehman there late in the race, under 10 to go, possibly had a shot to take over the points lead. Camshaft issue on the 63 put him out. Tough break for the driver who came in 2nd in the points and for the team that came in as the points leader. Let's now go see the point standings 4 races into the season. 4 races done. Here are the point standings. Christian Vargas with a decent top 15 result moves him up into the points that keeps him up in the points lead. Ryan Brommer, the winner today, moves him up to 2nd in points. Justin Zeidel, another great day, moves him up to 3rd. 4th for Anthony Rodriguez, and Anthony Lehman is 5th. Jake Galloway down to 6th. Marshall Burrow 7th. Fitzwater is 8th. Dylan Trieste is 9th. And Brandon Beal holding a spot inside the top 10. John Smith 11th. Bronson Mick 12th. Grenier 13th. Xander 14th. Trevor Knee is 15th. Carter Friesen 16th. Casey Nako 17th. Colucci 18th. John Gilbert 19th. And Jay Randall rounding out the top 20. All 4 of our winners right now inside the top 10 in points, with Vargas and Brommer 1-2 in points, Galloway 6th in points, Trieste is currently tied for 9th in points. And now after this race, not a single driver has finished top 10 every race, as the most now is 3 top 10s in 4 races. A few drivers have 2 top 5s, otherwise no one has gotten 3 top 5s as well. Jonathan Raines right now 21st, Christian Richardson is 22nd, Rasberg to 23rd, 24th Riley Sampson, 25th for Anthony Fox. Luke Ray's right now 26th, Tyler Fink 27th, Noggin Scott 28th, Kashawn Richardson is 29th, and Max Rossi 30th, Trey Wright 31st, Oliver Evans 32nd, Anthony Hernandez 33rd, 34th Sebastian Kukulon, 35th for Jose Mills, and 36th is right now Mark Silas. It's been a dismal season for Andretti Autosports Andretti Autosports Mark Silas, as Levi Schoen's team owner has some drivers up there winning races like Trieste, Brommer, You got Grenier running well. And then, you know, you have Mark Silas down there, last in points. Guy Alexander's up there in points as well. So it's just been no good for Mark Silas. Terrible luck so far this season. We'll see if he can try and turn it around, though. As race number 5, we head road course racing once again. We go north of the border to Mosport Canada at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, the Canadian Tire 200. I will see you guys then.